We are starting with the third unit of the class 11, that is classification and periodicity of the elements. Unit number 3, that is classification and periodicity of elements. First of all, let us define what is classification. Classification is the arrangement of elements in order of increasing their atomic number in such a manner so that the elements with similar properties, they should fall in the same group. So arrangement of elements in order of increasing their atomic numbers in such a way so as the element with similar properties should fall in the same group. This is classification. Then we have the periodic table. It is the table of elements obtained by arranging the element in order of increasing their atomic numbers in such a way so that the elements having similar property, they are in the same group. This is called as the periodic table. Then we have what was the need of classification. So when the number of elements that became very large and their properties, they become very large, and it was very difficult to keep in mind all those elements as well as their properties. Therefore the attempts were made to classify these elements so that by keeping one group in mind, we memorize the properties of all those elements. So this was the necessity of introducing the system of classification to systematize the study of these elements and their properties. Then different attempts were made. First successful attempt that was little bit successful, that was Dauvergne triads. So Dauvergne was first scientist who was little bit successful in making the triads of the elements. In these triads, the atomic weight of the middle element, it was just the average of the atomic weight of the first and third last element. For example, he made one triad LINAC. Atomic mass of potassium is 39, that of lithium is 7. If you add together, it is 46 divided by 2, you get the atomic mass of sodium. So in these triads, the atomic mass of the middle element, that was just the arithmetic mean of the atomic mass of the first and last element. But Dauvergne was also not successful in making the triads of all the elements. Therefore this attempt was discarded later on. Then came the next attempt, that was Newland law of octaves. According to this law, when the elements are arranged in order of increasing their atomic masses, then it was seen the properties of the every eighth element, just like the eighth note of the music, they get repeated. For example, when lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and fluorine, they are arranged in order of increasing their atomic masses, then sodium is the eighth element whose property match with that of lithium. So this is called as lithium law of octave Lebesgue canopy. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 element, that was sodium. Noble gases were not included in this case. So when elements are arranged in order of increasing their atomic masses, then properties of every eighth element that become similar to the property of its first element. Then this attempt was little bit successful in arranging some element. Then came the concept of Laudermeier, that is Laudermeier concept. Laudermeier plotted a graph between atomic mass and atomic volume of 1 mole of the elements, and he got some elements which occupied similar positions in this graph and their properties were similar. For example, when he plotted a graph like this, he got this kind of graph. The elements which were present at the peaks, their properties were similar, they were placed in the same group. Which were present in the trough, their properties were similar, they were placed in the same group. And the elements which are lying in between, their properties were similar. So these elements, on the basis of their position in the peaks on the atomic mass and atomic volume graph, they were placed in the different groups. But this attempt was also not successful in arranging all the elements in the periodic table. Later on, the first successful attempt, which was very much successful in arranging the element, that was Mendeleev's periodic table. So this was most successful attempt above all the attempts of classifying the elements. So what Mendeleev did, Mendeleev gave a Mendeleev periodic law. That law states that periodic properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic weights, and Mendeleev devised a periodic table which is known by his name as a Mendeleev periodic table. In this periodic table, there were features of Mendeleev table. Number one is elements are arranged in order of increasing their atomic masses. There were 6 horizontal rows called as periods, and there were 7 vertical columns called as groups. Each group was subdivided into 2. We are A and B, so there were in 14 groups here, and then we have 8th group, that was of noble gases, whose cell was completely filled. So this is the Mendeleev periodic table. It was successful in explaining properties of the elements, and it became easy to know the element, to keep in mind the elements. Then what were the advantages of Mendeleev table? The study of elements, that became easy. He predicted some elements which were not discovered at that moment, they were discovered later on. Mendeleev periodic table was suffered some drawbacks, that some elements with higher atomic masses, they were placed earlier to those elements whose atomic masses were less, and in this table some positions were left vacant, and the position of lanthanoid and actinoids, that was not justified. The position of hydrogen, position of isotopes, that was not justified in the Mendeleev periodic table. Therefore, this attempt was also discarded. Later on, the modern atomic law came into existence, and the modern long form of periodic table, that also came into existence. Now we do a very important question, that is what is long form of periodic table? Give its features. So long form of periodic table is more lengthwise than breadthwise. That's why it is called as long form of periodic table. So this periodic table, it was given on the basis of modern periodic law, which was given by, mostly according to this law, periodic properties of the elements are the periodic functions of their atomic numbers. They are not the periodic functions of their mass numbers. So now we do next question. What is long form of periodic table? Give its features. Answer is long form of periodic table. Elements are arranged in order of increasing their atomic numbers. Second, there were 7 horizontal rows, just like Mendeleev table, called as periods. 18 vertical columns, called as groups. Then we have discussion of groups. Number 1, normal elements. These elements, they have normal existence in our day-to-day usable compounds. So normal element, these are the elements of group number 1 to 13 to 17. They are normal elements. In these elements, outermost cell is incomplete and they are found in our normal daily use compounds. They have the configuration NS1 first group, then we have NS2. Here we have configuration NS2, NP, you are 1 to 6, 1 to 5 up to 17 group. Then we have noble gases. These are the elements of group number 18. They have completely filled valence cells and they have the configuration NS2, NP6 except helium, which has configuration 1s2. Then we have third transition elements or D block elements. In these elements, N-1D subcell is progressively filled. They include elements of group number 13 and group number 3 to 12. These are the hard elements except mercury, which is liquid. All other elements are solids. They are highly malleable, ductile, they have good conductivity, electrical as well as thermal. They produce colored salts, they form complexes. So this is all about transition element. Then we have inner transition elements or egg block elements. These are the elements in which N-2F subcell, it is progressively filled. There are 2 series of 14 elements each. First series is called as lanthanoid. In these elements, 4F subcell is progressively filled. Second series is called as actinide. In these elements, 5F subcell is progressively filled. So they are F block element. In order to avoid the undue expansion of the periodic table, these elements, they have been placed at the bottom of the periodic table. To avoid the expansion of the periodic table, they have been placed at the bottom in the series of 14 elements each. So this is discussion of the groups. Then we come to the discussion of periods. First period is called as the short period, shortest period. It contains only 2 elements. They are hydrogen and helium. In these elements, it is the first energy level in which electrons are filled. Since the capacity of the first level is to accommodate only 2 electrons, So in hydrogen the configuration will be NS1. In case of the helium the configuration will be NS2. So this is the shortest period. So we come to the fifth point, discussion of periods. First is the shortest period. This is the first period. It has two elements only. You can keep in mind hydrogen and helium. Then we have number 2, they are short periods. These are the elements of period number 2 and 3. They have 8 elements each. In these elements also outermost cell is incomplete. Then we have third. They are called as long periods. Period number 4 and 5. They contain 18 elements each. They are called as long periods. Then we have the fourth, that is longest period. The period number 6 is the longest, has 32 elements. Then we have 7th, fifth property, that is the incomplete period. The 7th period is incomplete period. So in these periods there were only 20 elements at that moment. Now it is completely filled. Some new elements have been discovered after that. So this is regarding the long form of periodic table. These are the features of long form of periodic table. Then what are the advantages of this periodic table? Now in this periodic table, elements are classified on the basis of atomic numbers, which form the basis of periodicity of the element. The properties get repeated, since after regular intervals of 2, 8, 18 and 32, the number of electrons in the valence shell that become same. It can be said only on the basis of atomic numbers. So properties get repeated. Second is the position of element in the periodic table. It is governed by electronic configuration, not by atomic mass. The elements are classified into 4 blocks in this periodic table. They are S block, P block, D block and F block. In S block element we include soft metals which have high electropositive character, low ionization energy, low melting and boiling point. These are alkali and alkaline earth metals. They come in the S block. So this is our 6-point element are divided into 4 blocks. They are S, P, D and F block. In S block element, outermost cell, one electron goes in the S subcell of the outermost cell. In P block element, electron goes in the P subcell of the outermost valence cell. In these D block element, electron is entered in N-1D subcell, and in F block element, electron enters in the N-2 F subcell. So in all they have the outermost cell incomplete. P block also have outermost cell incomplete. They have outer 2 cells incomplete. They have outer 3 cells incomplete. Position of the isotopes was similar because of the same atomic number. This was the advantage of predicting long form of periodic table. It was easy to remember and easy to reproduce. Position of the element which were not fit on the basis of atomic masses, they were fit in this table on the basis of atomic number. Then what were the drawbacks of long form of periodic table? The drawbacks was position of hydrogen still is not clear, because it resembles with alkali metals as well as halogens, but on the basis of electronic configuration, since it has one electron in NS subcell just like alkali metal, it has been kept along with alkali metal, although it also matches with the halogen since it needs one electron to complete its valence shell. So position of the hydrogen is still doubtful, it is not clear at all. Then we have the lanthanide and actinide, they are not adjusted in the main body of the periodic table. Then we have very important question, how will you determine group of the element? It can be determined by the basis of electronic configuration. For example, if configuration is SN1, it is group number 1. If configuration in NS2, it is group number 2. If it is NS2 NP1, group number is 3. Then NP NS2 NP2, this is group number 4. NP3 NS2, this is 5. NS2 NP4, this is group number, you will be saying, this will be now group number 13, 14, 15, and you have NP6, this will be 18 group. So you coming from here, it will be NS2 NP1, you add 10 plus 2, 12, 13 group. NP2 14 group, NP3 15 group, NP6 it is 16 group. So in boron family, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon, these are the families. This is group number 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Here configuration is NS2 NP1, NP2, NP3, NP4, NP5, NP6. So this is 13th group NS2 NP1, NS2 NP2. This is 14th group NP3, 15th group NP4, 16th group NP5, 17th group NP6. We have 18th group. So on the basis of valence electron, we can determine the groups of these elements. Then in D block, what we do, we take the N-1D and NS electron, add 10 to it, you will be getting the group of the D block. And in F block, there are 14 groups, but they are unrecognized group, they have not been numbered. So they are unrecognized 14 groups in the for the F block. Then we have very important question, what is the valency of element? How does it vary in a period as well as in a group? So our question will be, define valency of the element and discuss its variation in the group as well as in the period. Define valency of the element, discuss its variation in group and period. So what is valency? It is defined as the combining capacity of an atom of an element, or it is equal to the number of hydrogen atoms or number of chlorine atoms, or double the number of oxygen atom with which an atom of an element combines. That is valency. Let us establish valency. It is the combining capacity of the atom of an element. Valency is equal to the number of hydrogen atoms equal to number of chlorine atoms, or it is equal to double the number of oxygen atoms with which an atom of an element combines. So variation in group, valency remains same since number of valence electron they remain same. In period left to right it changes because number of valence electrons changes every time when we change the group in the period. So valency does not remain same in the period, although it remains same in the group. Since number of valence electron they remain same in the group, they do not remain same in the period. That's why valency that changes. So this is all about our first lecture.